Jordan, it looked like in the second half after you had it going that you felt like nobody could stop you out there. I mean, you just had that look about you out there. Yeah, could you describe how you felt?
Nah, man, my old line, my first two long runs, it was just wide open like butter, man. So all I had to do was run, and that just that built confidence in me running. So we just went from there.
James, it seemed like you had your best running day, and then you also started fast in terms of the passing game. How much, I guess, how important was it to you after the way the team played against Virginia Tech to kind of come out like that, and what kind of got into you with the running game?
It was just preparation from practice, and I knew that I could run the ball pretty good, but I haven't showed it on the field yet. So I seen the hole, I pulled the ball pretty good, had a couple good reads, and that first drive we came out tagging through the air. So it was just executing the play. We knew what they was gonna come out and do, so we just executed what we did at practice.
James, I kind of wanted to walk through one specific moment in the game with you, if that's okay. In the third quarter, first drive in the third quarter, and you throw an incompletion, y'all get lined up, and Collins calls a timeout. They'll go back to the sideline, come back out. You come out with the 26-yard touchdown run. Can you kind of explain what it was that y'all saw and kind of the call and everything within those 3 moments?
It was all just fast. Like, I seen the read we had, the play we had called was there, but I had to check it for a different play, like for us to run. So the clock was running down. Collins didn't think I seen the clock, so he popped the timeout. We came over to the sideline, and we was like, we got it wired. So we went out, and we ran the play, and I just busted the hole wide open, and it was just amazing.
For Jordan, if I'm reading this right, you had 7 of Georgia Tech's last 8 touches. So what was kind of like, what was, as you guys are looking at the clock, looking at the game, the situation, what's kind of going through your mind is you're like, we have to close this one out?
Shoot, only thing going through my head was run the ball like beast mode. So, shoot, I mean, when someone trusts you with the ball, you gotta do what you gotta do to be trusted. So I just give it to the O-line. They did their thing, and they get me to the second level, and I just do my thing.
James, back here. For you, that first play, just, it's a big throw. Obviously, you guys knew that's what you were going to do coming out here. How much confidence did completing that it kind of give you for the rest of the game going?
It was a lot. Confidence it built in me, and you see after I think we ran it one time, or maybe we threw it the next play and scored. It was just me being comfortable in the pocket and just O-line giving me that time to throw it. I knew first play we was going to have it wired. I just had to give them time to run up under. I didn't want to overthrow it, so kind of could have threw it out a little more and maybe would have been a touchdown, but we got the win, so that's good with me.
How much do you and the receivers feel like you're on the same wavelength now, that you're kind of thinking along with each other?
We feel comfortable together. It's like Coach just got to call it for us, and we're going to get it. It's like in practice, we look real good. It's just in the game, we really just need to execute what's called, and if I have enough time, and it's just showing guys what we can do, and it's just us working at practice.
James, how did it feel getting the touchdown to Tobias, throwing one to him? It seemed like a real heady play. You prolonged the play and let him kind of get open as the play evolved. Can you walk through that a little bit?
It was like a moment I had in my head. It was like the first read was open, but I seen Tobias running to the pylons for the touchdown. So it was just me trying to get the ball out to Tobias. I seen he was wide open, so I gave him a shot. He came up with the play. I know he's excited about his first receiving touchdown, and we just gonna go up from here.
Yes, sir.
James, James, I'm going to ask you about 2 plays. One, the second fumble, just kind of what happened, and then the second, the first down you gained on the last drive. It looked like an option you had with Jordan. You kind of got skinny, I guess, a little bit, and were able to get through. Can you tell me what happened on both?
It was just a mistake we had in the game. There's nothing that I could do about it now. It's just we're just gonna have to learn from it. I mean, we had a little. I think he didn't know if I was trying to pull it or not, but
sure.
I think he was
That's
like,
me.
give
I'll
it to me,
take
give it to me, give it to me. I'm
I'll
like,
take
okay.
that.
But things like that happen, and we're just gonna have to build off of it. We had 2 of them. The first one was just a miscommunication from me in the back, and then we're just gonna learn from the mistakes and just build off of it next week. Oh, it was just I knew I had to get that first down so we could put the game away, and I just got the first down really.
James, look pretty comfortable in that option play. Practice that before, have you?
Yes, sir. We got a lot of practice with that, and JP got out on the edge, and I knew it was going to be wide, and I gave it to him. He got the first down, and the rest is history.
Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
Malachi, going into the game, did you feel that James was ready to have one of those games that, where he's going to be on throwing the ball?
No doubt. I always know James is going to come out there and try to perform the best he can. So, yeah, this game I definitely felt like he was going to go out there, especially after last week. He had something to prove, so he went out there and did his thing.
Christian, you guys got tested, and you've had quite a few injuries in your group, and guys playing through it like Tariq and Wanye and yourself, and kind of just talk about the kind of resiliency that the defense had at times today as you guys were really testing your depth.
I mean, you love to see it. Like Coach says, it's not really – we do the ATL, which is above the line, and so everybody that's on that list, we trust to go in. So I was glad that some people got the chance to make plays. I think that was good for us, good for the team, and good for them personally.
Malachi, I believe that catch at the beginning of the game, just that one catch gave you a career high for a single game, and of course you got another one, got open a couple other times and weren't quite able to get the catches. But getting open like that, what do you feel like is going right for you right now, and getting into a rhythm and being able to get more targets that way?
I mean, it's just hard work. Going out to practice, not worrying about the touches I had the week before that, just knowing that the harder I work, the more opportunities are going to come for me. And I know my boy James is going to put me in the right place and set me up to play the way I know I can.
How exciting was it for you, Malachi, seeing Tobias get his first touchdown today, and then AB gets two more on really great plays where he just kind of outrun defenders?
I mean, it's just great. We've been waiting for a game to really just prove what our wide receiver core can do. And, with T.O. coming from quarterback to receiver, we've been, excited, just waiting for him to get his first touchdown at this position. And he's been working real hard, too. So, seeing him get that touchdown was just great for everybody.
Do you feel, and I guess you and all the receivers, you feel yourselves getting more thinking along, you and James kind of thinking along the same lines together as the season's gone on? Do you feel that you guys are on the same wavelength now?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, week by week, we just keep getting better. We get better time on our throws. The chemistry gets better. You can see it at practice and everything, and it just shows in the game. So we definitely feel like everything's just falling into place.
Christian, can you take us through that 2-point conversion attempt at the end, your role on that play and how it unfolded as you played that play?
So Coach called safety pressure, and they did a rollout, so he was running away from me. And as I'm pursuing him, he tried to stop and throw it back across field, but he had no idea I was behind him. So as soon as he turned to square up, I was right there in his face.
Question can be for both of y'all because I think you both can add a different perspective to this. But kind of looking back over the last 5 days of preparation, are there any specific examples that you can give me of kind of guys taking accountability and responsibility for the game against Virginia Tech and kind of transferring that to what they were doing during the week to prepare?
I mean, I'd say, we don't really, as a team, we don't like to point fingers. It was a collective loss last week. It was, things happened on both sides of the ball, so we really just came back to practice to improve in every aspect of the game, throwing, passing, catching, tackling, just everything. So we came out today and tried to clean all that up, and obviously you saw the results.
Yeah, and so after the game, Sunday we came in, we had our position meetings, and it was just like a truth talk. Everybody know what they messed up on, and everybody contribute to the loss. So it was like, okay, we did this wrong, but now we know how we need to fix it. And so the next day of practice, we just went out and went at it.
This question is for both of you. Could you guys talk a little bit about what this win kind of means for you guys in terms of momentum heading into the end of the season, stuff like that?
I mean, one thing we do as a team is we just stay in the moment. Coach always preaches that. So tonight we're just going to celebrate this win, and next week we're going to focus on Georgia and put it behind us.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what he said. We're going to enjoy this win, celebrate it, but after tomorrow it's gone. It's on to the next.
Last game, you weren't even on the field at the end of the game. So can you describe just what it means to make the play that helped secure the win, and also just being a senior and everything that's kind of just building up to this moment for you.
Yeah, I mean, so after I had to sit the second half last game, I kind of just had a fire under me. It was like, man, what could I have done last game, or I could have helped my brothers out. So I mean, this week I went out and I was just trying to do anything possible to be able to make my team win.
How do you two feel, I guess, physically after playing 2 games in a tight window like this? And how excited are you about the weekend and maybe having a little bit of downtime?
I mean, to be honest, personally, I feel great. Coming off a win, you're always gonna feel good. Maybe a little sore here and there. And after last week, I mean, this is what we trained for the whole off season. We had really hard workouts, so a little short week really didn't do too much to our body. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how Christian feels, but personally, I feel good, and I'm ready to go and start up to prepare for Georgia.
I mean, considering I played one half last week, my legs felt kind of good. But, I mean, Coach Collins also took care of us during the week. He knew the short turnaround, and so we cut practice short some days. We got to recover, ice tub, and stuff like that. So he made sure we were ready.
Anything else for these two? Okay, last one, Kevin.
Christian, I think you were saying the other day about, you wish you could go to a bowl game and all that. And, this isn't a bowl game, but to get at least one win and hopefully go to Georgia, what does it mean just to see kind of for that improvement your team's had over the course of the season to culminate in a result in a win?
I mean, it gives us some momentum to ride. I mean, it's always better going into a game off a win than a loss. So, I mean, I feel like that'll help us in that aspect. But as far as anything else, I mean, it's kind of just like the same. As I told you, I wish we were going to a bowl game, but we aren't. So, just got to make the most of our opportunities now.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Phils. Junior linebacker David Curry. Questions for David?
What were the issues you guys were having in terms of there was some, particularly in the third quarter, getting off the field on the run? They kind of were able to get downhill on you guys.
Yeah, they decided just to get big on big, and it just comes down to guys getting off blocks, and then just guys' wills to want to get off blocks, and that's something that we as me as the leader of the defense tried to instill in everybody on the defense is, hey guys, like they want to get big, they want to run the ball on us, we got to be able to stop it. So let's get downhill and get off blocks, and but I mean, credit to them, they were good at what they did.
I asked Coach Collins this question, but I kind of wanted your perspective as well. Obviously, Saturday's game being what it was and coming in on Sunday and having to kind of flush it, but also understanding that there are things to take from that and understanding that there are things that you can build. When you look at the last 5 days of preparation, are there any specific examples that you can see of guys maybe having a chip on their shoulder and having the accountability to kind of come out and make the response that they had tonight?
Yeah. It hurt. Last Saturday hurt, but it was all stuff that we could control. And the whole week of practice, eyes, defense, use your eyes. Eyes are where they're supposed to be. Eyes are where they're supposed to be. And, we even had some mistakes with that tonight that, we've got to get corrected. And we'll continue to work on that. But, just moving forward, it's, guys have got to, if you keep your eyes where they're supposed to be, big plays like that won't happen. A lot of big plays that happen on third down, stuff like that, won't happen if guys just have their eyes where they're supposed to be. So
It seemed like you guys finally had a strong special teams game all the way across the board. How much did it help with Brendan getting the kickoffs, getting the touchbacks, and then also Presley doing a great job of flipping the field for you guys as well in terms of setting the defense up with opportunities to be successful?
I mean, it's huge. Special teams is a lot of times the most important side of the ball. And so, recovering that fumble, that's huge. Presley always kicks the crap out of it, which is awesome. And then, kicking it in the end zone, they kick it in the end zone and they fair catch it. They can't return it for any yards. So, that's always a big part of the game, and I'm very happy about that.
David, obviously, I remember you were up here a week ago saying you were embarrassed, and obviously this whole season has been about, most of the season has been about, fighting your tails off and coming up short to finally knock it down. What does that feel like for you and the team?
Yeah, it's we've been waiting on it, man. We've been grinding, and the feeling afterwards is a lot better than, God, we were so close. It's an amazing feeling. but we got a lot of stuff to keep on working on. And that's just personally how I look at things. I'm happy. I'm gonna we won. It's hard. Winning a college football game is never easy, no matter who you are. And I'm very glad that we got one. And but I'm looking forward to this next week, as it's gonna be a battle.
Anything else for David?
Said in the huddle between the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, did anything needed to be said?
In the defense's eyes, that was the game. That was the game. It was going to come down to that, and we just knew that we had to get a stop. We could not let them in the end zone on that play, and we came up with a good stop. That's pretty much me in the secondary, and just a couple guys in the second. Christian Campbell, all of us were like, guys, this is the game. And I told the D line, we gotta get to the quarterback, and told Tariq and told all of them that were out there, and I said, get your eyes where they're supposed to be, and let's make the play. It's simple as that. Get your eyes where they're supposed to be and make the play, and that's what happened.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
No problem. What did you see out there tonight that you think can translate into next week, that can carry over into next week in your favor?
Well, I think that our secondary gets downhill well, and helps on the additional. We're going to need additional help on the run, because they're big. They're going to try to run the ball on us, I think that everybody getting big. There was some points tonight where our D-line played really, really big, and they filled their gap and got off blocks and made plays. But then that's other stuff that we're going to have to work on as well, is continuing to fight to get off blocks. And when people are solo blocked, that you can't get solo blocked, you have to get off the block and make the play. I think the defense is getting better and better and better at that, and it's going to be a huge key to the game this week. Is they're not going to do anything fancy. They're going to old school run the ball, and it's going to be, can we get off blocks and make plays?
Last one
They had a couple drives where they marched down the field. You were able to limit them to 3 points, took 4 points off the board each time. What changed, or what were you able to do when they got down there to make that stop, to limit them to the field goals?
It's just a pride thing for us, and it's every single snap we're like, bow your back. But when they get down there, it's as a defense, you really pride on keep them out of the end zone, and just guys executing. Defense is all about executing, and I guess when you get down there, you get a little bit tighter, and everybody plays a little bit tighter. But in my opinion, that's how you should be playing the whole entire time. So, but it's a good thing. That's a huge part of the game, that we could keep them out and just get a field goal.